Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV and your pre-season tour vlog series. This is day one proper in Tokyo. It's been a relatively calm day actually, surprisingly so, ahead of what potentially could be a couple of busy ones tomorrow and indeed match day Wednesday. We had a little bit of an explore around Tokyo. We had some wonderful lunch as well, absolutely exquisite food thus far. We had a nice little look around the sites and what was going on, and also I found time to catch up with the brilliant Lewis Steele, and then we came to an excellent LFC Foundation activation at what can only be described as a stunning venue at the British Embassy right here in Tokyo, where I also caught up with Matt Parish and Neve Fahy. Stick around. I absolutely agree with that, and we still obviously major question marks around the future of Darwin Núñez and Federico Chiesa as well, so could even be more ins and outs. And what you would say on that is Liverpool, while spending a lot of money, this is another example of Liverpool selling pretty well too, because it's a big chunk of money coming in for Luis Diaz, isn't it?
Massive chunk of money, and it is a good sale, even though we've just said they'll miss him, and they needed that big sale as well, because as we just said, they've spent an awful lot of money. They're planning to spend more money. If they do get Isak, that's going to be at least 120 million, I think, if not more. So they needed that sale to balance the books. Maybe they'll sell some others as well. Núñez, you mentioned, Elliott, Morton, maybe Simicast as well, I don't know, Ben Doak. So they can easily get another 100 mil through the door. But yeah, they needed the big one, I think, for the PSR calculations and whatever. Yeah,
speaking of the big one, let's touch on Alexander Isak. Listen, Liverpool, what they've done so far this summer has been just remarkable, really. And there's potential for another blockbuster arrival. It would be Isak, of course. It feels as though, from the outside looking in, that this Diaz sale, whilst nowhere near like for like in terms of position, obviously he's the centre forward and Diaz is left winger, it feels though this is only more encouragement for that, really, because again, there's money in terms of on the balance sheet, but it's also, as you mentioned, another attacker out the door, therefore one in.
Well, I think with Isak, I think it's a weird one, because no one really knows what Newcastle are going to do. I think everyone knows how Liverpool feel. I think everyone knows how Alexander Isak himself feels. So it's actually hard to predict how it'll go, because no one has a direct line to, you know, the power brokers at Newcastle. Will they say yes or not, really? But I think it's clear that Liverpool want him, and Isak wants Liverpool. So let's see what happens. But for the fans, why not believe that it will happen?
If there's one deal you're going to get carried away over, it's this one. Like again, Liverpool have had ample opportunities to get carried away already. There's some, the Florian Wirtz deal was enough, you know what I mean? But this will just be on another level again, because, as I say, nines always whet the appetite more. Ekitike did it last week for me as well, but Isak is that finished article. He is the focal point of any team, really, in world football. Wherever he went, he will become that. Liverpool, in terms of what they've done, you mentioned there's more to come. There's probably a centre-back void that needs filling as well. But if we can get Isak over the line, plus one or two more, including the centre-back, it's probably, for Richard Hughes' first proper summer, in inverted commas, probably the dream summer window.
It's a summer beyond Richard Hughes' wildest dreams if they get them players through the door, Isak and a defender, for me. It's almost like if you were playing FIFA and it was a career mode, you'd probably get bored because it was unrealistic. That's how good it's been, or how good it can be if these players come in. And
there's so much time to do it as well. The business has been so quick and sort of straightforward almost, in a way, that we've still got 6 odd weeks left of the window.
Yeah, it seems mad that this time last year we probably stood, I don't know where it would have been, but we were chatting about, we've not signed anyone at all, and you know, a lot of the fans online were losing their heads over that a bit. It was worth the wait for this summer, wasn't it? And you know, it's a lot of money, but I think it's worth it because it just elevates them for the next 5-10 years. But the flip side of that is they went into last season with no expectations. Now this season the pressure will be on.
Yeah, just finally, obviously you touched on a few potential outgoings there in terms of like the more fringe players, if you like, in the squad. It's Tyler Morton's, Harvey Elliott's, Kostas Tsimikas probably falls into that bracket as well. Has there been much in the way of interest in those sort of players this summer? There's been one or two rumblings, particularly about Harvey Elliott. Has anything sort of concrete ever come about at all, or are Liverpool just sort of quite calm and keeping their powder dry on the situation surrounding them? Because those are the sort of players, Tyler Morton included them anyways, who I like a lot, by the way, who probably need to move for their own good, but also for Liverpool, they're probably looking at him going, realistically, there's no game time for you here, so therefore a move kind of needs to happen.
Yeah, I think once we're back from the tour, I think things will start to ramp up a bit with them outgoings. Like we saw last season, like Fabio Carvalho was brilliant on the tour, and then bang, he's out the door next week, and he's barely really played for Brentford really since then. So yeah, I think like the likes of Tyler Morton, there's a lot of interest in him, but no one really stepping forward and, you know, making that more advanced. Same with the likes of Tsimikas and Elliott, as you mentioned, Ben Doak as well.
Yeah.
They've all got big asking prices from the Liverpool end, and I don't think many clubs are willing to pay that at the moment, so they may have to just settle a little bit less, shake hands, just get that money flowing through the door.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Redmen TV. I am delighted to be joined by Matt Parish at the, quite frankly, stunning setting, Matt. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very good, very good. First proper day in Tokyo, so it's yeah, just as we were saying, getting used to the heat.
Yeah.
But no, brilliant, yeah, very well.
Good man, thanks so much for joining me as ever. Before we touch on the tour and indeed today's event that you can see in the background behind us, I wanted to ask you about the Community Awards night that was at Anfield just before we set off, really, for Asia. Just tell us a little bit more about that night and sort of how thin it is that Liverpool get to do that, to recognise those around the community that have helped so much.
Yeah, look, 100%. I mean, it was, I always say it's the sort of the best night of our year, really, because exactly as you just said, it is about our partners and our stakeholders, but perhaps more importantly, it's about the participants, volunteers, people that make a difference in their own communities. But us recognising not just young people, but young people who have stepped up and are then leaders within their groups and then the community, volunteers that help us, you know, every day, every week, all year, and then some of the groups that work and support. You know, we had the group that deliver the Hillsborough education programs there. We had a young lad from the academy who stepped up and has been running, on the back of working with us, has been running education programs for the other boys in the academy. So a real diverse mix. But yeah, and it's great to see the impact, but also the joy that it brought to the winners as well.
No, most definitely, yeah. And obviously the foundation prides itself on the work it does, not only back home, but also internationally as well. And then you come to places like this today, indeed last week in Hong Kong as well. Does it really sort of hit home just sort of how far-reaching this football club is in terms of the impact it has, and you see smiling faces to come out of stuff like this? It really does, like I say, makes you realise just the global scale of Liverpool.
Yeah, I think we focused a lot probably for the last 5 or 6 years because of COVID in some respects, and we were doing it just before COVID, on developing our work at home. And we've developed that, you know, exponentially. I think we've gone from supporting 30,000 people to nearly 130,000 people, and the majority of them are in the Liverpool City region and wider northwest. But I was fortunate enough to come on a pre-season tour when I first started in 2019 to the US, and it gave me a glimpse. You know, I think it was 2,000 or 3,000 people in a music hall in Boston on a supporters night event. And I was probably a little. I know it sounds naive because I was. I didn't. It was hard. It is hard to comprehend the scale of it. And then post-COVID, coming to this part of the world, we touched down in Thailand a few years ago. It's just the scene. Clearly, the people there to see the players, not us. I was getting off afterwards, but just the excitement. And it's been the same. You've seen it in Hong Kong, here. People at the hotel. It seems there's people there 24 hours a day. So yeah, it's huge. You know, we've been doing different clinics and camps and work, and on every one of them there's little kids with Liverpool kits on. You know, so. Yeah, I mean the scale's massive. 2 sold-out games in Hong Kong, and here it sort of demonstrates that as well, doesn't it?
No, it certainly does. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Football press conference. Yeah. With Japan or Japanese foundation.
Dan, we're about to do quick-fire questions with Niamh. What are you going to ask her?
To be honest with you, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to ask her, because she's obviously been on the tour from start to where we are now, and will be here till the end. So I'm going to ask her about her fellow legends who've been on tour with her, and see sort of like what they were like behind the scenes a little bit, because she's been up close and personal with them for a long time. So I'm going to ask her, who was like late all the time, just to get a bit more sort of in detail knowledge on the people that we adore.
Okay, so you're going to ask her those type of questions, so I'm going to put it on you. Who have you enjoyed interviewing the most out of the legends?
Oh my God, honestly, I love them all dearly. They're all so sound. The day with Robbie can't be topped. That was just surreal, literal fever dream. But I think in terms of like just the interview itself, probably Lucas Laver. I love Lucas, yeah.
Who have you been most starstruck by? I mean, you've seen these all before, but
no,
still.
You never ever get used to seeing Kenny.
Yeah.
You never get used to being in the same room as Kenny, chatting with Kenny, laughing with Kenny. It's Kenny Dalglish, you know what I mean? And he is brutal sometimes in his put downs and what he does to people, but I love him all the same. It's Kenny Dalglish.
I want a wide. I know you dropped the code. Bobby Fowler told me that.
Yeah, you can't use both hands with chocolate.
Even us two. To be honest, it doesn't have something like that. I was just trying to work out what that was. Is it nice? It's alright. It's terrifying.
I'm afraid that it's put me off all food that's going to come from this restaurant.
You've got yours there. No? What did you have? Bowl of mystery, it's called.
Hello everybody, thank you so much for checking out today's vlog from the Liverpool pre-season tour. This time of course we are in Tokyo, and it was another day, another quite frankly ridiculous experience. Boss going out and enjoying the city, some incredible food, but also spending the afternoon in the British Embassy here in the heart of Tokyo was pretty spectacular. Great to have a chance to chat to Niamh Fahey as well and see the foundation in action and just see some of the incredible work they do, not just back home but also internationally as well. So thanks to Parish, thanks everyone for joining us all day, and thank you guys for watching. See you soon.